Hi, welcome to my journey with Ports Sacco, where we share with you inspiring stories of real people that have been walking and working with Ports Sacco to transform their lives. And today we are here with Mr. Javan Wanga, who is here to share with us part of his story and journey with Ports Sacco. Welcome, Mr. Wanga.
Thank you, George.
Yes.
My name is Javan Wanga. I was employed in the port in the year 1987,
Okay.
July. That was on the 9th day of July. And during that time, the port, there was Kenya Ports Authority and Kenya Cargo Handling. And at some point they merged, because I was employed by Kenya Ports Authority, and then there was Bandari Sacco, which I joined immediately as a new employee. But at some point, the government deemed it fit to merge Kenya Cargo Handling and Kenya Ports Authority into one organization.
Okay.
And it didn't take long. I think within 1 year of that merger, I joined Mombasa Ports Sacco to see what type of products they were offering. Then I decided now to be a member of Mombasa Ports Sacco.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, since then to date, how has your journey been with Ports Sacco?
Well, it's really an interesting scenario because as a new employee, I knew that there's something to do with investment.
Okay.
But since I was so naive, I thought that really you have to save a lot of money if you are to invest. But the joke is, at some point, you can't do it alone.
Sure.
After saving, you need somebody to at least guide you as well. So I started saving, but I was saving with the bank, not with the Ports Sacco. Then I realized that it was very difficult to save with the bank because there was no discipline. I would withdraw the money when I wanted. That's when I decided to join Sacco, because with Sacco you could not just withdraw when you wanted the money. Then I started saving with them. But I can say that the real turning point was when I was promoted to a new position.
Okay.
I was already saving with Sacco. When I was promoted, I said that I've been saving with Sacco and I've been taking care of my family as well, and life has been going on. So, with this promotion, the amount of money that has been added into my salary, if I'm not careful, then it will change my lifestyle unknowingly, and therefore it will not be beneficial to me. Then I said, why don't I throw all this amount into Sacco? And that's the best thing that ever happened to me. Then it meant that I was saving about 50% of my salary. I did that for a number of years. It gave me good money. The returns were good. And I'd also bought a plot somewhere. So it was very easy now for me to start developing that plot. That I can say was the first beneficiary. The first benefit I got from Sacco. And I've never left Sacco. I've been with Sacco for all my working life. I'm now a retired officer, but I'm still benefiting from Sacco because I can still take loans from Sacco. And I've seen a very big transformation in my life in terms of investment as a result of being a Sacco member. Thank you.
Now, that's quite inspiring. And I know Ports Sacco have been tirelessly working over the years to make sure that their members move from one financial status to another. And if you can look back, what can you say was your motivation towards saving consistently?
One of the motivations was just by the mere fact that saving creates financial discipline, especially when you save where you cannot just go and withdraw the money. And with Sacco, at least in a year, they will give you what they call dividends.
Dividends, yes.
Yeah, depending on how much you have saved, then the return will be in relation to that. So there was that consistency that you are building a pool of money, and with check-off system, it meant that every month they would be deducting a certain amount of money from your salary.
Yes.
I mean, that would be the agreement that you make with them. So they would be doing that, and within no time, you cannot start thinking of ideas to do with money when the money is not there.
Not there, of
But the
course.
moment you start realizing that this money has grown to a certain extent,
Yes.
then you're motivated now to start thinking, maybe I can do something with this money. So the first thing I did was to acquire a plot somewhere. That was in 1996. Then with time again through Sacco, I got to acquire the next plot next to me and started developing it slowly as well. I'm still doing it slowly at my own time, no pressure. And one day I know that I'll finish that project as well. So I'm happy with what I've done through savings in Sacco.
Okay.
And I would say that I'm not sure whether the bank would have given me the same.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between the conventional financial institutions and Sacco. The manner that Saccos, especially Ports Sacco, they go a long way in making sure that a member benefits from their savings and their investment in Sacco.
Yes.
Now, what can you say is your financial goals? Rather, what financial goals have you been able to achieve in the journey with the Ports Sacco over the years?
One is just that pool of saving,
Yes.
which at the end of the year gives me very good returns in terms of dividend, and I'm still saving.
Okay.
And two, as a result of that saving, I've been able to take loans, be able to develop the house I'm talking about, and it's been very, very helpful.
Okay.
Yeah. Even now, I'm thinking of eventually once I finish what I'm doing, to see if I can have a dream to do a school.
School.
Yes, and what is motivating me to do the school is because I'm hoping and praying that one day my children will be able to run that school. Because in this country today, it's not how qualified you are that you'll get a job.
Sure.
I've been saying, I don't want to build this school for them. I want to plant a seed so that they will grow with it. That's my dream, and I believe that through Sacco, I'll also achieve that. If Sacco enabled me to build a house that I'm staying in, it has enabled me to start another project of rentals house, and I'll finish that as well. And I will also be able to do the dream for the school. So Sacco has really helped me individually, and I believe that at some point there's something that I'll be proud and say my children took over for me and did that as well.
Sure. That's very, very encouraging. Now, what products and services perhaps do you feel that have been you've really benefited from, that you've been patronizing over the years from Ports Sacco?
As I said earlier, I was saving massively with Sacco. By God's grace, I rose through the ranks in the port.
Yes.
To a departmental head level, and that was a good salary.
Yes.
So if I was saving more than 50%, actually, there's something I said I want to try out.
Yes.
5 years into my retirement, I said, if I was to retire, how much money will I be getting in terms of pension? So I went to the pension office and I asked them, and they calculated it for me. Then I said, I can embark into an experiment, see, without being stingy, if I could be able to live within that means, because at some point that will be my earning.
Yes.
So I said, I want to save everything else
and live
what will be my pension in 5 years' time.
Exactly.
And believe me, it worked very well. Okay, the only area where I say that it didn't work the way I expected it to work was because in active employment, I would be sent out for some out-of-station jobs, and you'll be given some allowances here and there.
Yes.
I did not save that amount as well. I would use that. So it didn't work out exactly as I wanted, but I managed to be earning what my pension salary is today.
Okay.
And I can tell you that I'm used to it and no regrets. I would advise the guys who are still in active employment that in the event they get any extra savings, especially in terms of promotions, they should save that money in Sacco. Because the argument is, It was never their money in the first place.
Of course.
Because they were working, they were taking children to school, they were buying food, they were doing everything that money could do at that level. So if they want to use that money on themselves again, it will just corrupt their lifestyle. And believe me, this happens so fast that you wouldn't realize that you're spending more than you used to spend. After 6 months, you start agitating for another promotion. So it worked well for me. It worked well for me. And I would encourage the young employees to also try that. It's just a question of financial.
Minimize your cost and live within your means.
Yes, live within your means. And it's doable.
It's doable. Young people today are saying the economy is hard, money is hard to get, and of course, as you've heard from the event that we just had from the last speaker, young people they're attracted to whatever we see on TV and books and magazines and all that. So that's prompting us to even spend more, and especially spend money that we don't really have.
Yeah, actually there's a time I also attended a talk elsewhere, and the speaker was telling us that one of the things that Mzungu never taught us in this country, and it was deliberate, was investment. He was saying Mzungu brought the Bible, he brought the religion, and he taught us how to read and write.
Education and all that.
Yes. But investment was a preserve for himself. Okay? So actually Kenyans discovered this on their own, and it was after a while.
So many years.
Yes. And that is why when the speaker today was saying that we don't want to introduce our children early to money, because we think that money will spoil them. How? Really, you can't explain. But it should be the opposite. We should now learn introducing them to money so that they know that you can save, you can spend, you can invest, and you can borrow. Those 4 categories that we learned this morning.
Yes.
And if you're having a healthy balance amongst them, that is what we should be doing, so that the saving life will not be something new to you. You'll have been introduced to it right from an early age.
It should be a culture.
It should be a culture. And I strongly feel that seriously they should also teach it in school, right from primary level. Yes.
I think that's the difference between us and the white men. See, while we are waiting until someone is of age, them they introduce their kids to money matters as early as 2 or 3 years old.
And again, with money, it's a question of trust.
Sure.
Yeah, because if you have to introduce them to money, then you've got to trust them as well. Of course, handle it well. That's the fear that now this money can spoil the children.
Okay.
Yeah, but we should learn to make it work for us in such a way.
Now, what can you say are such trainings, as I've mentioned before, such things that we just had? How have they contributed, helped you have a sense of belonging and involvement in Ports Sacco?
Actually, it has. There's a time when I was in active employment. There's a training I attended on preparation towards retirement. Okay. But this training was coming too late in the day. You know, when you are going to retire at 60 and you are being introduced to such a training at around 55,
it's too late.
It's like you already having 10 children, and you cannot cope. Then you walk into a family planning office and say, I can't plan this family.
I can't plan this family.
I'm here for you to help me plan this family. And these guys tell you, no. You'd have come here before you started.
Exactly.
So I advise them that this thing should be coming early when these guys are around 30. And then again, just before they retire at 55.
Yes.
Then call them again and tell them, then we gave you this knowledge
20 years ago, yes.
What have you done with it? Yeah, and even encourage them that if you want our assistance, we are here, come. So training in matters investment is very important, and there's power in numbers. There's power in numbers. If you come together as a larger group, you see, we were told today that the asset base is 9.1 billion.
Yes.
And even what we are borrowing is about 6 billion, and we have only pumped in 5 billion. You know, such statistics. And even like today, I can tell you that people are going to give more, because now some of the issues have been demystified.
Exactly.
You know, you just join a circle, you save money with them, nobody will tell you whether it's going under or not. So there's that skepticism. But now that we know that
everything is open.
Yes, it's open. They have invested this much money with the government bonds, this much money with fixed deposits. So you know how your money is being invested for you.
And what it's doing.
And you're even encouraged to give your ideas. When the CEO was talking about partnering with the smallest guy in the chain,
yes,
the kiosks and what have you, that's very inspiring. Because actually those are the people who transform a country.
Yeah, sure.
Safaricom, today I read yesterday in the paper that Safaricom was actually ranked the third best
in Africa
employer in Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, Safaricom is a home built company.
Yes.
So Kenyans can do good things. Yeah. So really, through training, you can be empowered. But I normally say that training alone is not enough. If you cannot implement what you're being taught, then it's not going to be helpful. I remember there's a time, maybe I'll be derailing a bit, but there's a time I was preaching to my fellow men in our local church.
Okay.
And I preached about faith. I was telling them that faith is a product of belief and trust. They go together. So this chair, you are sitting on that chair without doubting that it is secure enough to hold your weight.
Yes.
Yeah, you believed first when you saw it, and then through trust you sat there. But if you thought that it's not enough to hold your weight, you wouldn't have sat there. So with training also it should be the same. Give me the knowledge and let me be able to implement the knowledge. If I cannot implement the knowledge, then it's useless. Yeah. So training is good. I wish that we can also do other trainings on implementation of the things that they told us to try.
Exactly.
So that they can be able to see how they can babysit us in them. And I also believe in starting small and growing big.
Sure.
You don't say that the other people are the ones doing it. You want to have Kenyan examples. You want to have examples in this town.
Sure.
You want to have local examples where we can inspire the local guys in the villages as well. That these things are doable and they are done by ordinary people. So yes, trainings have been helpful. The ones they have given us, I must say that the first one that I've attended, but it was very, very well taught and structured, and I believe that they can only improve from the feedback that we get.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, as you conclude, what can you tell how can you tell someone who has been thinking of joining Ports Sacco but isn't ready yet, not sure if they should or not?
Ports Sacco, actually, according to their slogan, they say they are lifting people. I'm a testimony that they are doing that. And I can also attest to the fact that they are very efficient. You go there in the morning, you want a loan, it doesn't matter how much it is. As long as you qualify, you will walk out of that place with that money within 5 minutes. Yeah, so they mean what they say, and they're very stable. And I must say that since I've been in the port for quite a number of years, I know most of those guys, especially the guys running the port now, the Sacco now. They're people of integrity. They are good people. They are good people. They relate to people well. They don't carry their weight as they don't carry their weight with them that they are the big bosses, and they do it in such a way that they touch base with the locals. They listen to you. You'll call them. Like I remember, I've once called one of the officers from Ports Sacco to come to my local church to talk to our people so that they could join the Sacco. Because I was saying, even in the setups in the villages,
yes,
you want to empower people, but you can only be empowered if you practice the culture of service.
Exactly.
So they came, talked to our people, and some of them joined.
Okay.
Yeah, so you will not go wrong with the Ports Sacco.
So people should know that their money and investment in Ports Sacco is safe and secure.
Yes, so far I would say that is the case. I've been with them for many years. I've not heard of any wrangles amongst the officials. I've heard of wrangles in other circles, to the extent that they close down or they run down, and people are disappointed. People die as a result of that.
People fight physically.
Yes, physically.
During the AGMs and
Yes,
SGMs.
there's not been such an indication in Ports Sacco. So I'm saying, I was even talking to the chairman this afternoon while we were having lunch.
Yes.
And I was telling him that if you have not been able to impart this knowledge to the people incoming, then you will have done us a disservice. Because it's a question, you should be judged by the people you mentor.
Exactly.
This thing collapses, you will still blame your people, because you did not train those guys well enough to be able to take over from you. But I believe that we still have a good crop to take over and run the circle.
Now, lastly, what I want you to talk to young people,
Yes.
early 20s, late 30s, who just got their first job, they are getting their first salaries, and they do not know where to put their money and how to go about it. What can you tell them in relation to Ports Sacco?
Well, in relation to Ports Sacco, what I can tell the young people is that normally when you get employment as a young person,
Yes.
you appear to be in a hurry,
Yes.
and you want to enjoy life, you know. So that is the wrong starting.
Okay.
That's not the best way to start. They should learn the culture of saving. And I want to talk to even the group that is not in formal employment.
Okay.
As long as you're earning, right now I'm working with a local, with a group in our estate. I've encouraged them that we can save 100 shillings every day, because the technology is there, M-Pesa is there, and we have an M-Pesa. So I've been encouraging them. We can save 100 shillings every day. In a month, it's 3,000 shillings.
Sure.
Yeah? And in a year, it's 18,000 shillings. So if you are a group of 50,
Yes.
that's 1.8 million. So I've been challenging them as well. Let us think of what we can do with maybe the 800,000. What investment can we venture in? But we can save. We have the power to save 100 shillings every day.
Every day.
If you cannot save 100, save 50. If you cannot save 50, save 20. If you're doing it consistently, you'll get used to it. If you're doing 20 shillings every day, in a month that is 600 shillings. Yeah?
Yes.
So the technology to save money is there with us today. You know, in the past, you could not walk into a bank that you want to save 20.
Yeah, sure.
They'll chase you away. They will not even allow you to open a bank account. But today you can do it. So the culture of saving is something that, and actually once you start saving, that money ceases being your money temporarily.
Exactly.
Because it does not influence your lifestyle. You don't have it. Yeah? It's just as assuming that before I take care of my breakfast, I want to save 50 shillings. And within no time, in a year, you'll be having good money. Once you have the money, ideas of what you want to do with the money comes in now. So you can empower yourself. So what the young people should have now should be financial discipline. And we don't want them to save much. Just 50 shillings, 100 shillings. Especially this group that is calling themselves Duakali. Because they have this money. They have this money within them. They don't realize how rich they are. And if you can do this mathematics for them and tell them that this is the amount of money that we have turned over last year, they'll be shocked. Yeah, they'll be shocked. So that's my encouragement to the young people. Let us not rely so much in formal employment as much as, yes, we want all of them to be employed. Yeah? So we must shift our mindsets as the young people now, that formal employment is like for the chosen few. You must be knowing maybe a cabinet secretary or a PS to get a formal employment with your degree and your first class honors and what have you. Yeah, I told you earlier that I'm an engineer by profession. The other day, a few months back, there's an engineering boy who killed himself in town in Mombasa, but there's no employment. A graduate in mechanical engineering, very powerful discipline. So you see, we are lucky, the youth are lucky people to hold their hands.
and show them the way.
Yes, because with a degree you're already a successful person. You don't have to do engineering. Yeah. So this is what should be happening. This is what should be happening to inspire our young people that the employment is within them. Yeah, employment is within them, and even the finances that they think that they don't have, you can save in terms of 50 shillings every day, and you will have money. As much as it might sound easier said than done, but it's doable. It's doable. So those are the concepts that I want to think that can be useful for our young adults in town.
And as they get their money, they should come and join Ports Sacco and save it and invest and grow themselves.
And save it. And even with Ports Sacco, saving is just an SMS away. At the comfort of your phone, you save. And when you go there, as I said, within 5 minutes, you get 3 times what you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Engineer Javan. Let's leave it at that.
Thank you, George.
You've been very inspirational.
Thank you.
I'm sure our viewers are going to love this.
Thank you.
And this has been my journey with Ports Sacco. Shukran. Thank you so much, sir.
Asante.
Have a good day.